The MMA world is ablaze today. There is commotion, disagreement, and outcry. In an interview broadcast by a Spanish channel, Ilia Topuria took aim and threatened both Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira. Islam didn't hesitate to retaliate either. Here's what Ilia said about Islam and Charles. First of all, I want to thank Charles for taking on the challenge, something Islam didn't do. Charles must now pay the price for Islam, and I feel terrible for him, but ultimately, it's my responsibility because Charles Oliveira has the most submissions in the UFC, and you stated that you wanted to submit. Do you want to go all out and submit Oliveira Makhachev? After these scathing remarks from the unbeaten Georgian, former lightweight champion Islam Makhachev responded on Twitter, saying, "The difference between me and you is that I cleaned top list in my division and moved to next, but you ran away from two contenders who had consecutive 5-N wins in the featherweight division. You are nobody in the lightweight division, just a big mouth from Spain with nice haircut. Go get one W, and we can talk boy. I'm not sure with Olivia, but I will do whatever is least painful for him, because I really like him." Topuria responded quickly, "The difference between you and me is that you are a coward, whereas I am a man. You talk and fight, while you hide and flee far away, without leaving any trace. You're something of a punk." Ilia also made it possible for him to advance to welterweight, but he isn't playing. He stated that if the fans support it and there is a champion worth pursuing, he is all in. El Matador claims that it's all about entertaining the public, but he is also driven by genuine challenges. He isn't just throwing it out there either. When the time comes, he's prepared to take charge, but he didn't pass up the opportunity to challenge Islam once more. He added, quote, "If someone wants to talk, they better be ready to back it up. There's no room for excuses, just action." Luke's final quote, Luke Thomas Chimaev versus Plessis. After years of destroying everyone in his path, from Robert Whittaker to Kamaru Usman, Thomas reacts to Khamzat Chimaev finally receiving his title shot against Plessis. It's a fierce stylistic clash, a high-stakes match, and a long-overdue title shot for one of the sport's most dangerous men. Khamzat is finally getting his chance at the gold, but it hasn't been easy. He has repeatedly lost his momentum due to severe weight cuts and health problems. The question now is if he can make it to fight night, because if he does, the division better be prepared. In the meantime, Plessis is on a tear. He stunned the world by defeating Israel Adesanya, and then he defeated Sean Strickland in a dominant, if not the most entertaining, victory. He is now entering his third title defense with a lot of momentum and a style that gradually wears down and breaks opponents. The matchup pits Chimaev's explosive wrestling against electric DDP's relentless pace, unconventional striking, and iron will, fighting strength and unadulterated violence. But everyone's attention is also on Khamzat's health. Over the last few years, his health has been a persistent problem due to COVID-related issues and persistent pull-out rumors. Hopefully, this time, he arrives at the cage prepared and healthy.
Khamzat, one of the most electrifying talents in all of MMA, certainly in that middleweight division, against DDP, a guy who I think we've come to understand is something of a cold-blooded fighter. And, you know, people call him a donk and goofy and all this stuff, but his style has been effective. He's a physical tank. He finds ways to win, undefeated in terms of his UFC run itself. He hasn't lost inside the octagon. That's the point I'm trying to make. I mean, this is easily one of the best fights UFC could make. Easily the best fight you could make at middleweight. Certainly no question about that. And just a guy in DDP who's in his absolute prime, going up against a guy in Khamzat who's been something of almost a what if, something of a wild card. We weren't even sure he could get into the United States. Obviously, now he can get into the United States, which is a whole other topic. But for the purposes of just talking about the card and the fight itself, here you're going to get him. So you're going to be able to put him in pay-per-view in North America, which is going to be really, really big and important.
When fresh video of Khamzat Chimaev talking about his impending battle against Dricus Plessis surfaced, MMA fans were taken aback because it wasn't the Khamzat they are accustomed to seeing, who is known for his blazing confidence and unrelenting enthusiasm. Normally, Chimaev's zeal causes his opponents to question themselves, but in an exclusive conversation with Adam Zuba, something appeared different this time.